back to school supply drives. Pumpkin patch is a big one. Cinco de Mayo, have taco trucks pull up. Events around prom and different, photos and summer pool parties, ice cream socials. When we look at our real estate event guide, there's also tons of other types of realtor events out there that I think are super, super popular that a lot of our clients use. And I want to show those to you and make sure you see them all. It becomes very, very powerful. You can mix these up. Like I said, my top teams will do 4 to 6 of these a year, real common to do. And they're just constantly making contacts. And all they're doing is spreading pixie dust, like, giving back to the community, giving back to charities, giving back to their clients, just giving, making massive contacts. The people that tell you actually have to constantly pick up the phone and ask for business and take rather than give, they're wrong. That works too, and we coach and teach that. But in this case, no, this is a different way. This is a way to give and constantly do better. I prefer this way. I think most people prefer this way. And it's kind of treating others the way you typically would want to be treated. And it's just being a beacon of hope for the community. I mean, during the pandemic, my goodness, the agents went nuts on this stuff because you can do virtual events. There's lots of these, we were doing family photos on the porch. My wife on Mother's Day gives out different signs. An amazing mom lives here for every one of the moms in her SOI, or, graduates from the local high school. And there's tons of ways to make this distant, remote, have virtual coloring contests. I mean, there's endless stuff you can do here. So just stop with the excuses and find a way. Let's be solution-based and solution-oriented, because there's always ways to do this. There really is no reason not to. I'm yet to find someone who just couldn't do an event for one reason or the other. I swear to God, real estate agents led this country out of a pandemic by keeping them together and staying positive from all the different things they did to support their community through those events. And that's why so many agents made so much money during COVID, is because they were first to mind. Everybody was watching, because what else is anybody going to do other than log into Facebook and see what was happening? Make sense? All right. So again, picking the type of event, there's an endless amount, just an endless amount of them, right? So let's go back to the event guide, and we'll get back to that table of contents again. And you can see on here tons of different ones, right? So I'll go through some of these, and you can see holiday and seasonal ones. Photos with the Easter Bunny. As creepy as the Easter Bunny is, because he's got those big black hollow eyes, many children will cry. I was one of those kids. I still have a problem with it. It's very popular. People do, like I said with the Santa, people don't go to the mall anymore. It's kind of weird. And so, but all of a sudden you do this and you give an opportunity for people to get a free photo with Santa or photos with the Easter Bunny. Maybe have an Easter egg hunt right next to it. My wife does that. And it's really cheap and easy. Get a bunch of plastic eggs, put candy on them, have a big Easter egg hunt. She has one of those. I mean, it's something like 500 people show up to her Easter egg hunt every year. And it's just so cheap and easy. It costs next to nothing. You just promote that for 3 months. Again, isn't it fun to take your kid to an Easter egg hunt on the weekend? I mean, it's just something for them to do, and they just love it. They go crazy. It's like, thank you. I swear to goodness, I can't walk around town with my wife because everybody thinks she should run for mayor because she gives back so much to the community. I mean, what if they all knew it was really just for her greedy little, commission grubbing, mentality? I'm just kidding, but you get the idea. Makes sense? Cinco de Mayo, have taco trucks pull up, promoting, events around prom and different, photos and summer pool parties, ice cream socials. If there's some sort of parade in your neighborhood, like a Christmas tree parade or a 4th of July parade or a St. Patrick's Day parade, have a big watch party right by it. You know what I mean? Throw a big watch party. Throw it at a local business to drive people to the business. If it's a bar or grill or something, they love getting packed with people, right? Luau, swimmer soiree, parties in the park are always great. Especially if you know someone that has a band that just wants a venue to play. It's so easy to turn into a festival atmosphere by getting face painters out there, bounce houses out there, a band out there, balloon animals out there, have some cornhole toss games and stuff like that going on. Fun stuff. It's all you got to do. And it's just a big party. It's something to do with the kids, things like that, barbecue parties. A lot of these can be overlapped as well too. Back to school supply drives. Pumpkin patch is a big one. Pumpkin patch is very popular. Do that a bunch of different ways. You can deliver pumpkins to people first week of October. They can put them on their, as decoration on their front doors. That's hard. I mean, it takes a lot of time if you're driving around. Or you can have an open house or a park or someone's front yard that's big enough and just put a bunch of pumpkins out all over. And then people come and just pick a pumpkin. I mean, it's already picked, obviously, it's sitting on the grass, but they can pick it out, take the kids, maybe walk over to 3 hay bales you have stacked up and take a family photo too, like a harvest photo, with their pumpkin, that kind of thing. Super easy. You just got to buy a bunch of pumpkins, which are shockingly cheap. In fact, a lot of pumpkin farmers will deliver and stuff. I know my wife delivers about 600 pumpkins a year. She goes to people's doorsteps with them. Sometimes people come pick them up. It's too much. So they're talking about doing the patch thing to get people to come to them, where people show up and they get a photographer there, that kind of thing. I have tons of clients that do the pumpkin thing. Same with pies, around Thanksgiving, do pie giveaways. That's a very popular one. You got to buy a bunch of pies, but other than that, you can drop them off. You can have them come to you, have an event around that the same way. All you got to do is get 3 or 4 hay bales and some fall colors, and voila, photographer, you got a photo backdrop, that kind of thing. The most popular by far is photos with Santa, because anybody who has kids wants to do that. And where else are you going to do that? And if your realtor doesn't do it, you know what I mean? Parties are tough. I'm not a big fan of parties because people don't show up. You look like a loser. They're not come and go, so you're limited on time. But it could be New Year's parties, Valentine's Day dance. I've seen people want to put on big parties. They can't help themselves. Not my gig, but a lot of people throw parties, and they can be seasonal holiday parties too. That's just a lot of work. Okay, a lot of work. Okay, moving back over to our events. We can keep going on here as well too. Food and direct pancake breakfasts are popular, especially if we mix them with charity events. Coffee trucks and food trucks are so easy. You can pull them up to anywhere and make a party. It's very cheap. You can give them $1,000 or give everybody 1 or 2 drink tickets or whatever. And then after that, they're on their own to buy more, very commonly done. All these are all just different themes that you're going to be able to download. Ice cream trucks. My wife picks 7 geographic farm neighborhoods and brings in snow cones and ice cream trucks every summer, and just has like a 2-hour event every single Wednesday, I think, over a summer in a different neighborhood. With the event, the whole team shows up and they show up there, and that's their geographic farm. And they get a ton of business from those areas. That's a way to do it. You can do it with taco trucks too, the same thing. Adults only, like I told you, you can do happy hours out to promote new businesses that open up, new bars and grills, new restaurants, things like that. Housewarming parties. Every time you do a listing, you throw a housewarming party so they can invite in all of your clients' database of friends and family, and you throw a party for them. And now you get to meet all their SOI and grow from there. It's very popular. You just keep growing your SOI by throwing parties for their new clients once they move into their new home, and you get to meet their whole SOI, get their database, and then market to their database. Now you've grown your database through them, and they know that they used you and liked you, and they love that you threw a party for them. So they may use you going forward, right? Sports event, watch parties at a bar and grill, next to nothing. Any bar and grill is going to want you to bring people to them, so they'll let you do it for free. Just do it in the bar area, that type of thing. Endless beer, wine tasting events, things like that, casino nights, et cetera, all the way through. Different types of cocktail parties, basically just theme them around different cocktails, mojitos, things like that, all the way through. Kentucky Derby watch parties, all that kind of stuff. Family-friendly events, very, very easy. Mother-daughter tea dance, father-daughter, cooking classes are fun, pottery classes, boat rides, more food chip. We talked about neighborhood block parties, bowling alley parties, sporting events. If you got a sporting event, hold a tailgate, reserve some seats too, or in lieu of. Tailgates beforehand are very, very fun around different types of sporting events, whether it's pro events or minor league events or things like that. We've talked about charity and community events as well too, about different things, code drives, stuff like that. Virtual events, I think we've covered that too. Tons of different virtual events when you can't be there in person. These are cheap, they are easy, and you can still do them via social media very, very heavily. And they're, a lot of these became very popular and have stuck. There is my wife right there. She puts signs out there for her different community. Like I said, Mother's Day, you're an amazing mother, Father's Day, things like that, graduate signs, stuff like that. Get very, very cheap, very, very easy, front porch portraits, things like that, socially distanced, stuff like that. Very neat stuff. again. Okay. So again, here's your contact plan. It's all about the contacts. I don't want you to lose sight of that, guys. This is all about the contacts. If you don't do contacts, again, you can download that whole packet in the side chat room so that you guys can go through all those. But there's tons of different real estate events. Use the guide, use all that. So download that down from the side and pick your event. Remember, it's about the contacts primarily. Secondarily, it's about getting referrals. Third, it's about getting reviews and testimonials, but it all starts with the contacts. Pick your event, go. Don't let the cost be a factor. Invite everyone you can in that database, but make sure it's a targeted database and go from there. Hope that helps. Thanks, guys.